really cool one. It's called a poison dart frog. And pretty much I started making this in the park, and I started making it in the park, and I finished it. So what I did was I added some eyeballs to it and some, and it looks really cool froggy, and it's like, you know, flexible froggy. And so what I want to talk to you today about today, I was going to do some sculpting. So I'm going to show you some of the cool sculpts I already worked on. So I was, in the thumbnail, I show you the gremlin. So this is the gremlin I was working on last week, and pretty much I finally got him. I don't know if he's completely done yet, but for the most part, though, he's done to the part where I kind of like him. I like him at this part here. He's, you know, the colors are really cool. And when you hit him with the black light really comes out really nicely. So I'll probably show you some of the black lights a little bit later, how that works out. I'll show you some of my other gremlins I had before. So these are my big gremlins. So you have this one here. I'm going to add some more details. This one here. And so she's, what do you call it, you know, from the movie. But instead of her being Greta, I call her Gina because, you know, she's all dressed up in a different outfit and stuff. You know, again, we won an award for this one at the Queens County Farm Museum. At Queens County Farm Museum, we got first place, baby. First place, baby, for this design because this one is such a cool design. So anyway, I just want to show you that. Let's see. Next, I want to just kind of make sure the chat is functioning and all live chat, all messages right there. And let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and just look and see on the computer and see that it's actually playing right now. So I'm gonna go check on that right now. So after Sculpt, add more details to that. It has been such a really cool time. Let's see. I can see. Look at this video right here. See if I can actually see it and see myself talking, and I can actually see the chats and stuff like that. So these are my two gremlins. This one I call him Angus. Not Angus, sorry, Argus. Or he's 9 number 2. Because I had another one, a 9, a gremlin, and I made him into pretty much I sold him at the night market, and so I was really excited to do that. But no, I had to make another one. So he's really cool. He's a whole different new species because he has, unlike most gremlins, he has 4 fingers, as you can see, 4, and he also has 4 toes. So he has 4 toes. Most gremlins, like for example, even you look up here with Greta, or actually Regina, she has only 3 fingers, right? 3 fingers, and she's wearing shoes, so you can't really see that. But here you have that, right? There's that. Then you have one of my favorites. This one on my business cards, my murder hornet gremlin. And so my murder hornet gremlin is really cool because he has like the whole murder hornet aspect of it, where he's just like, you know, the murder hornet. See, he got like even his antennas on top of his head come out of his head right there, and these are his murder hornet antennas. He also got wings, and he's also got a series of arms. So let's see, for example, his arms are here. I put a rubber band behind him so that way I can hang him from stuff, but I'll hang it like this, and like that. You have it like right there. You have it like right there with his hands. And his hands here, and then he got his feet. So he's got like 3 toes, but his toes are kind of modified. So it's like it's a 2-toe type thing, like that. So he's like this one here. And he's also got wings. So this one here, I don't even sell him because he's just such a cool gremlin. Some of these ones I don't even sell. I make them for people. So if anybody wants a custom gremlin, I can do that. So what I'm going to show you, so this one here, and he's a pretty big fella. So he's like my business card fella right there. So he's got that. You know, so it's pretty cool. Next one too is like just kind of looking at this thing and how it works out. How cool it really is, how cool it looks. So what we have is that. Then I have that one. I have this one here too. And I see, and then so let me just go ahead and check this out here. I see, got it. Okay, cool. I get to see some cool, get some cool chats. Let me go ahead and write some chats for you guys. Alright, so it's that, and I'm actually doing something. I'm actually watching myself on computer, and then just being able to see the whole thing with that as well. So her hair is actually felt. I might just go ahead and braid her hair, make it actually like braided instead of it being like felt itself. But for the most part, though, that's something there. I just wanted to kind of make sure it all worked out great. So anyway, so that's pretty much there. What's going on there? I'm going to write a couple things here. So I'm going to write like hello everybody, hello everyone. This is Greg doing a live chat. Alright, so let's see how it goes. Oh, look, see, there it goes. Hey everyone, this is Greg doing a live chat. So here it goes. I'm just going to go ahead and make something for you guys here right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and make something. I'm going to go ahead and make a creature for you. What's a cool creature to make? Today is Friday. Let's talk about some of the things that are going on today. Well, I had inspiration for some of my favorite fellow artists this week. This week was was made up with different things. I'm gonna make. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make right now. I was making dinosaurs, so I'll probably make another dinosaur. Last time I did a raptor. I did it in a quick minute, but this time what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna make something that's not as raptor-like. I'm probably gonna make like a stegosaurus is just too hard, but I'm gonna make. Oh, make a plesiosaur right now. The plesiosaur is always fun to make. Oh no, plesiosaur I've done that a number of times. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make something that's really cool. If you guys want anything in the chat, want me to make something, just go ahead and let me know. Because what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and just make something really cool for you guys. So right now I've started the process. And the process is that me making one of these things here. So not sure what to make. Give me an idea before I get to it, because this is usually the basic structure of how I always start. The other day I worked on a couple of things. Oh, let me show you some more of the stuff I have. This one here, this is the one of my creatures here. This is like I call them a diplocalytans, or like in reptilians, but diplocalytans. So these are like a lady one, and I forgot what I called her. I had a name for her. It's like Iris or something. And then this one here is the male version of it, and so what happens is, like, they're pretty much free. I took them to the zoo the other day. We went to the zoo last week, and when it was red sky, and I took them there, and I did some really cool shots. You look at my Instagram, you can see them. But some of the cool shots I was able to make was just how these things are so cool, and they're pretty old now. I mean, I've had them for several years now, and they hold the shape really well. So you can see how cool they are and how cool they really look. But for the most part, though, it's one of those things where it takes some time. And I'll show you the frog again, because those who didn't see it in the beginning, this is the frog that I was working on before, and pretty much I made it in the park. And so it's a nice little froggy. You see it right here, a little froggy. And so it's a nice little froggy with all the paintings and stuff like that. So the colors on the front pop out really nicely. Let's see if I can find my light. I can actually show you what it looks like in the black light. I might actually have to skip out for a second and come back and just show you how cool it is. But in the meantime, let's see. Let's make something cool. What shall we make? Sure what to make, actually. But let's see. What can we make? All right, I have an idea. Let's make a T-Rex a lot. Let's make a dragon. Let's make a dragon, shall we? All right, I'll make a dragon with some wings. All right, so here we go. So this is basic of anything we want to do. And so from there, you have to go ahead and just kind of be able to work on some of the cool stuff, like the head and the arms. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make the dragon body first, and then we'll add the dragon legs and all that. I'll make a basilisk with 6-legged. No, I don't know, just whatever comes to mind. So we'll make a dragon, a really cool dragon. You want to waste tape, but also you don't want to just kind of make stuff that's not going to accomplish stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's talk about some things as I'm doing this, right? Some people ask me questions. I'm really excited about the fact that I can actually talk to people around the world, and people ask me different things I could make. So, so one of the biggest things people have actually made was the Alien Queen. That was really fun to make, because you have to watch the Alien movie, and then from there you're able to see and look and see what's going on. So. So what happens is, like, I'm just like, today, right now, the time is 5:35. I'm going to see how fast I can make something, and then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of end the live stream. But before that, I just want to go ahead and see what's cool. So here we go. I'm going to make a dragon, and make a really cool dragon for you guys, so you guys can watch that. And just want to say, okay, cool. So I'm going to make a twin-tailed dragon. All right, one dragon like this. This is going to be the head. And so I'm going to go ahead and just work on it. You're going to magically see a dragon appear. It's just like, it's weird how this all works out. It's just one of those wonderful art pieces that as you do stuff, you see stuff. And I'm glad the fact that there's the ability to make this stuff here. But for the most part, though, you can tell stories with this. So, like the word dragon is mentioned many times in the Bible. And one of the cool things about it is that, that word, we have a bearded dragon at home. Our bearded dragon name is Barbara. And so we were just feeding her just a little while ago, and so she's just like totally, my son has trained her to feed off the tweezers. There's tweezers that he has, right? And the tweezers that he has, he uses to feed her. So we take all the mealworms, and some of the superworms, which are the bodies are softer to eat from, for her to eat from. And what happens is that instead of it being like one of those things where it gets stuck in her stomach and stuff like that, because she's a pretty big lizard. I'll probably bring her here to the chat at some point, but like right now, I'm gonna see her make a cool dragon. So let's do that. So the dragon, we're gonna make dragon with wings. There's ones with wings and no legs, no front legs, are called the wyverns, right? The ones with the wings and the back legs are called regular dragon. Like, for example, like Smog. Smog was a wyvern. He had like the wings in front, and then he had the legs behind, and so he was a wyvern. So Smog. But the dragons that I like to make are the 4-legged ones, 4-legged dragons and 2-winged, like, kind of like Draco. Like Draco from Dragonheart. I am the last one. He was a pretty cool dragon. And I remember I took my sister and I, when I was way back, so 94. When did that movie come out? I don't remember, but it was a long time ago, and that movie was such a cool movie. One of the things about it that was great was it was the first time I got a chance to watch a big movie with my little sister. 'Cause my older sister would take me to see movies and stuff too. Like the first movie I saw with her was like The Fugitive. Was The Fugitive. That was the first movie we saw together, and it was such a cool movie that I was like, "This is such a cool movie." So I took a bunch of my friends to see it, and after that kind of started my movie going career. And the next movie we saw together was like, goodness, I don't want to mention it. But for the most part, I saw a bunch of cool movies, and then I started my movie career going to see movies on my own. But I remember back in the day where we lived, I would always go hang out and see different movies. And I remember I took all my friends. All my friends, we went out to see Independence Day when it came out in 1994. That was great. That was great. Was 94 96? 96 was Independence Day. Independence Day was 96. And then so 1996 was Independence Day. 94 was Stargate. Yes, 94 was Stargate. 96, yeah, because Stargate. And then 93 was also Jurassic Park. So yeah, these are like, just remember when I went to go see movies. But remember, my sister took me to see The Fugitive. Then we saw Gremlins 2, the new batch, and that was great. That was such a cool movie to watch. You know, my older sister has been really such a inspiration for me. She has done so much in terms of like helping me to see the world. It's like, my older sister has been like just one of those people that the more you spend time with, the more you kind of you learn about. And so she's gone through some things in her life, and I thank God for her. Because she was the one who got me into dinosaurs. Really, she was the one who got me into things. She was the one who kind of made me interested in things about the Lord. Even see now the arms. See, I'm gonna put the arms. I'm gonna put the arms here. And she was there. She was there when I decided to. I was gonna get married to my wife and decided to get into a relationship with her. She was there. When I decided to, just a lot of stuff. My sister was there for me. And so it was like just kind of incumbent that I had to do stuff that for her. When it was her turn, or she was in need of stuff, And so we always had a really close relationship. She's my older sister. She's 5 years older than I am. And so she was the one who got me into all this stuff, too, with dinosaurs and lizards and things. Because one day she came in with, like, a Trachodon dinosaur from the Museum of Natural History, and she gave it to me. That was it. That's all it took, I mean, it's, like, inspirational. Like, just, like, when you think about everything in life is, like, one of those things where you're not sure exactly where life comes from. You're kind of, like, hoping that be able to have like a really clear, understand about stuff. But what ends up happening is like, just life's been given to you. People they give you life. They give you from their information, and from there you kind of molded and shaped by other people. And so my thing is like, I'm just proud that I have an older sister. She was also airplane mechanics, and so she was all into the whole thing about building airplanes and stuff, and fixing stuff. She was an engineer, so she kind of told me about the whole internal structures of stuff and how that works, So it's like, just like, one of the things, like, we got a chance to see her last week, so she came down with her family, from upstate, and we got a chance to just kind of, have things where, we sell these things on the street, right? So we set up our table outside the front of the house, and so if you look on my Instagram, you'll see that, some things we sold. I did put some more stuff on my Instagram, but I have 2 Instagram accounts. One is Dino Candidates, the other one is One Life Most Art. And my One Life Most Art account, it has, it's more like my only like masking tape stuff, so that's pretty cool. But then for the most part though, when you have like my my dino candidates, it's more like along the lines of dinosaur candidates. And what has happened was that it was my story that I made about dinosaurs. But again, back to my sister. But so they came to visit us last week, and it was really kind of a cool time because when they came to visit, they brought their mom, and the mom bought a lot of our stuff. So my wife made jewelry. She made some really cool jewelry, and they were so like, it was such a cool thing because when they did that, it was like, and they kind of helped us with our bills, because we do this. This is how we make our money. Honestly, that's how we make it through selling and things and making videos, and we try our best to try to be like people who can contribute something to society. As well as hope, But so most people, she came down and she came to visit because her birthday was last week, and so she invited me to, invite us out, and then she wanted to come hang out with us, and they spent a good piece of time with us, and we got a chance to talk a little bit, and it's always good to talk, She's been through so much. Anyway, so what happened was, I thank God for my sister and my sisters. I have more than one. I have 3 sisters, and I was the brother. I was the second born. And I was the negotiator. I was the one who had to negotiate survival, because when you have sisters, you have to survive, and if you don't negotiate, then you don't survive, and that's pretty much how it is. So you learn pretty quick and pretty early that you have to be able to talk and talk and figure out what you want and what you want to accomplish. So anyway, so here's this right here. So we got this part here, and we're already 15 minutes in, and I almost have a dragon almost complete. See, the thing is, like, this is such a cool art. I mean, as you see, I don't look at references. It's all from in my head, and because I've had many years of dragon making and stuff like that, many years of lizard making, many years of physiology and animation and anatomy and all these different things. So when you have like that in your head, you don't necessarily need to look at references. But it's sometimes good to look at references. For example, you're gonna make something specific. Like if I was gonna make like a Wolverine or something, I'd have to have a specific design or something that I could do. But for the most part, though, when you're doing something like this, you don't have to necessarily do anything, but just make sure that your the stuff that you're making is balanced. Because one thing's bend, by the way, like in any creature, the arm legs and the back legs are the same. Except when you're making a monster, like you're making like one of those Guillermo del Toro type monsters, you can have one off balance. But when you have like a creature, like making a dragon or something, or you're making something that's anatomically balanced, their forearm is the same length as your bicep, and all that. And you also have your legs are the same length. So in order for you to be balanced, your legs are not the same length as your arms, obviously, but the parts that connect, they have to be. So if your arm is this long, then your shoulder has to be that long too. So it just but if your leg is this long, then it has to be that. And so it's all proportional to the size comes from your head. So everything's based on the size and shape of the head. So if you want to make something proportionate or wise or right, then what you have to actually make it proportionately well. So, I have a mask called the Dragon Head mask, and I wear that a lot. That's my signature piece. If you look at my Instagram, that's kind of one. I don't have it as my main title one. The main title one I have is this gremlin here. And this is the gremlin that I have as my main title picture for my Instagram. So this is my murder hornet gremlin. And he's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy. I like him. Anyway, so then you have that one. I've made some more like different hornet gremlins and bee gremlins and stuff like that. But it's like the one that I like. I just made this new one here, and he was really cool just to be able to have him there. I just think about how intense and how cool it is just being able to, make stuff. Let me just put some keywords in here real quick. Let me just do that real quick. Let me add some keywords. Various travels. Okay, and then let me just add some details there. And I'm gonna add some search terms, because what happens is like I'm gonna add some search terms real quick for the computer. This is actually the first time I'm ever doing it this way. I'm usually just kind of like how to style, and I'm gonna add some. Where's that? Oh, tags. Okay, so I'm gonna add some tags here real quick to this. That way people can find me. It says sculpture, sculpting classes. Let's say sculpting live. Let's see masking tape. Story. Greg Valentine. Let's see art. Let's see sculpting. Let's see gremlins. Greg's Gremlins. And I guess that's it for that. Let me go ahead and save that. Paid promotion. There's no paid promotion in here. I'm gonna say, let's see if there's anything else in here. No, there's nothing there. Okay, so let me just close it up, and let's just save this. Save. Come back to that in a second. All right, so then that's been saved. All right, so so now people can come find me with that. All right, they can definitely find me with this. So let's see. I'm gonna write something more in the chat. It says, "Hey y'all, I'm sculpting a dragon. Dragon. Yay! Okay, there you go. I'm sculpting a dragon, yeah. Gonna pop up. There you have it. So now back to what I was doing before. This is here. Gonna go ahead and continue working on this thing here. So here's that. Okay, so we're gonna add a cool tail to him. Gonna make him nice and longer tail. And then we're just gonna go ahead and finish him up. See, it's not that difficult to do this, but it is difficult just to get the idea, because what happens is, like, the hard part is, see, when you become a master at something, you can do it without thinking. So it's like one of those things where the hardest part is to think about what you want to start off with first, because the bottom line is when you're working on something, you're not really sure what you want to work on yet. You kind of have an idea in your mind what you want to do, but you're not sure exactly how it's going to come out. So that's kind of how it is life, just as you keep going until you start figuring things out. So I was talking to you about my sister, and my sister came to visit, and they bought a bunch of jewelry from us, and it was really good. I thank God for that because that really helped us out survive this week. And pretty much, I'm trying to figure out, like, I've been listening to Myron Golden, and he's such a cool guy. I really wish, I hope I get a chance to actually meet him in person and be able to talk to him and stuff. I just know that, all of us have things in our life that we have to kind of work through and work out. And for the most part, though, I've seen that, the stuff that he had to work through, and all of us have our problems we got to deal with. The things he had to work through and work out is one of those things where, he is working on stuff, and he is making himself better. And I'm trying to do stuff better myself as well. I used to read a lot of self-help books when I was a kid. I read a lot of books, like, for example, I read a lot of the John Maxwell books, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That book was very helpful. That helped me out so much when it came to leadership. So during the time of my years, I was actually becoming a leader. I was working in ministry, and I worked as a leader. And you had to have ideas, and it just kind of gave me a perspective about life. I was too dumb to know about what I didn't know. But at the same time, though, it was really good because I learned a lot of stuff that I needed to know. And I was really glad just to be able to be part of that and actually put the classes into practice. You see, if you want to learn anything, by the way, you have to kind of do it right away. As soon as you learn something, go and put it into practice. Because if you don't, then you won't learn. You won't be able to do anything. So the thing is, like, you have it where you have to teach somebody. And all my life has been that way. As soon as I learn anything, I share it with my friends. And then what happens, they give me feedback, and I learn, okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about this anymore. Maybe I should talk about this more, But for the most part, that was one of those things where, the longer you spend time with people, the more you learn about what you need to know. And so it's like, that's one of the things people talk about, like, in terms of homeschooling. We homeschool our kids, and we've been doing that for about, since my son was a little kid, so I guess homeschooling for about 15 years. And so, or maybe more than that, maybe 16 years. So anyway, so what happens is, like, what we find about that, my wife does the bulk of the homeschooling. I do more of the math and science in the school and the field trips and things. That's my kind of thing. But for the most part, though, when it comes to the stuff that we learn, people always talk about what's the biggest fear of homeschooling. They always talk about socialization, But you think about how bad the world is and how crazy the world is, and socialization is really not, you kind of learn stuff as you get older anyway. You learn stuff as you get older. So it's not a matter of, you need to learn socialization. If anything, school teaches you how to survive the bully for a little bit, but that doesn't really, sometimes you don't survive the bully, And I remember times growing up in my school when I had to survive the bully, and that wasn't a fun time because you get some real anxiety because you're not sure what the other person is gonna do, what you're capable of doing. You're not even sure what you're capable of doing either, because at that point you're just kind of still learning, And as you're learning, you're just kind of trying to put things together, And so for the most part, though, so you have this here. This is what we got so far. All right, that's only 23 minutes in. Let's keep going. Let's see what we get. So for the most part, though, you have it where the majority of things that you come across in life, it's one of those things where, you're not really sure what's going to happen. And that's how it is. You're not sure about a lot of things, how things are going to happen. So you just kind of go hoping for the best, And there was, Myron Golden said about, like, how when you anticipate bad, it's called doubt, When you anticipate good, it's called anticipation, When you have good hope, it's good faith toward something, it's called anticipation. And anticipation is a good. If it's bad, it's called anxiety and doubt. So both of them are the same thing, but one becomes a good, one becomes a bad. And so here's this. Okay, see, a lot of stuff I do a simple technique. I teach the technique in my classes and how to do it. I actually have, I'm about to drop my Patreon, by the way, see how that works out. I used to have Patreon before, but this time I'm dedicating this Patreon just simply to the work of being able to make things specifically for that. I want to see if I could do the digital classes and see how that works out for people. Because, I mean, like, there's you can teach classes, and I enjoy teaching classes. I think it's great. I enjoy being there for people in life. And we have been setting things up all summer just so we can do that. We had a previous gig that kind of fell through, and we were sad about that because, we were doing a lot of sales there. But then, just this year's a different year, So you got to just adapt. And that's one thing about this. All this thing about this art is about adapting and being able to make different changes and switch things up, So you have this. This is what you got so far. All right, so right? So you have that, and you know the dragon is no dragon without wings. So it depends how you put it too. Some of them have longer wings, like have up here they have the wings that bend, and they have the thing that comes down, or you have it like up there and then you bend it. But for the most part, this is how it is. Okay, so you talked about like fear. So when you have anxiety about something, you are the facts are the facts, you know. So whatever is true about the thing, if you think, you're afraid the sun's going to shine or afraid the moon's going to rise, what happens? You have fears. The facts of the matter is that the sun and moon will shine regardless of your fears, regardless of your fears. It might be a cloudy night or something, but the next night or next night after that is going to have, you're going to see the sun in the day and you're going to see the moon at night, right? At some point. So if you live in a place that's always like foggy, like London or something, you know at some point there's some other place you'll see the sun or the sky or the moon or whatever. But that's how it is. The sun's going to shine. So you can have anxiety, afraid the sun's going to shine. So what that would be is like anxiety or doubt, I guess, would be that you're afraid that it's not going to shine because you have a plan tomorrow and you want to go do something. Like for example, today I was hoping to go out and do some more tabletops, tabletop presentations. And I was planning to do that. Yesterday I was going to go, and whatever reason I didn't go yesterday. And then so I was like, okay, we'll definitely go today. And then today was like, I had a situation where it's like, it just didn't, the weather was raining today. So I was like, oh, Nelly, So here's this here. And so you have this is what you got so far. You see, right there so far. All right, so I'm going to add some more details. All right, let's see what more can we do. All right, so we have this here. And that's the Bible says if you observe the weather, you will not sow. And it really is true. You have to kind of have your contingency plan regardless of how you feel, That's your contingency plan is to continue no matter what, because there's always going to be rain or distractions or something. That's what Myron Golden talks about too in this thing about class, that whenever you decide to make a determination to do something, next thing that happens is chaos. And so chaos will come at you. So I'm going to make some fingers real quick. Fingers are always a tricky thing. So I'm going to make it really cool. And, but you see, it's like, you get better. The more you do, the better you get at it. So that's how life is. Again, with everything in life, it's just a matter of practice. If you practice at anything, you become proficient. And I remember that when I was in my ministry days, he said, practice makes patterns. And so it's not so much it's perfect, it makes patterns. You get used to it, and your body can actually make stuff without you even thinking about it. Now, I'm telling you, if I learned to do this like years ago, I would have used this so much more. I would have had this like just so many, but so many opportunities to do this with, and I would have done so many more things with this, But now I'm doing all the stuff that I want to with this, and it's been really cool. This actually helped me out with my coworkers, my coworkers and the people I work with. It's one of those things where the more you work on this, the better it gets, And I remember when I first started doing this, I was making it for my coworkers. We were doing inventory. This is back in 2020. We worked inventory. I was invited to the inventory team, and I was just getting really good at my job. And then what happened? Worldwide cataclysm happened, right? Worldwide cataclysm, but happened, and the only cataclysm that happened was that we learned the government is really bad. Like all governments are bad. So, pray for all those who are in government trying to do good. Give a moment of prayer, a moment, a moment for them. Because what happens is that they are in a wicked, wicked world. Anyway, so back to what we were saying before. We have this thing where it's like, I was making stuff with my coworkers, and I would ask them to give me a challenge. And they really, I learned so much. Tremendous amount of information, just how to do this. And I got to the point where I don't even look. Like when I'm making this, I'm not really looking. That's why I can talk so clearly about stuff, because I'm not really. It's just muscle memory at this point, But that's why it's like when people give me a challenge, it kind of opens up a new parameter. One thing I find too is interesting about this, though, by the way, is that as you're making stuff, it's like your mind is really clear of things. So you have to kind of really think about something else, to think about something, to make something else, right? So if you wanted to think about like, let's see. So yeah, I have to really think, because this is kind of like, though it's my my subconscious memories at work, it's like it requires me having to make some decisions about stuff. I actually have to like make a decision to think different thoughts. So you got 2 front fingers in the front. I'm gonna add some more fingers, make it 5, because I think dragons have 5. Some I think some has 5 in the front and some have 2 in the back. But anyway, so what happens is that this is here, this is this. Alright, so we have this here. And this. Alright, this. All right, so here goes. I'm gonna have the 5 fingers. All right, so here it goes. Now I got like almost 5 fingers. All right. See, now I'm not really showing you close-ups because this is a part of my classes I can actually teach. But I'm just gonna just kind of walk you through the fingers making method. Finger making methods, I actually have that in my class. So, see, the thing is, there's 2 ways to go by going and getting my classes. You can actually pay for the full course, which is like $140, or you can do like I'm gonna set up my Patreon. Patreon is almost ready to go, so I'm gonna send it up because the thing is, like, multiple streams of income is one thing, and when you love to do something, someone says if you love to do something, don't do it for free. If you do something really well, don't do it for free. And so, I mean, because it's like what happens is like you are doing an actual thing, and providing a service to mankind, and even the firefighters, though they save lives, they get paid. They don't do it. There's a volunteer firefighter service, but it's also like there's the municipal ones here in the city, and so they get paid for the work they do. It's like the fire department, the police department, medical, sort of medical. But for the most part, though, the people pay for them to do a service. And when you do a service, it's good to get paid for it. So you got 2 sets of hands in the front, right? So you got 2 hands. Okay, now this is where it gets kind of tricky because the back feet, right, is you have several options. 1, you can make the front feet and the back feet different, or 2, you can make it similar to how it is, in a dragon. You can make it like a lion's foot. We can make like a dragon foot, like how it is in the front. So I don't know. I might just do the dragon feet to keep it all uniform. So you have that. Right, so you have this dragon wings. Right, so you have the wings. The wings. Alright, so here's that. Okay. So now, alright, so what we have here is a dragon. And so, like I was mentioned before, there's many times mentioned the word dragon in the Bible, and dragon is one of those phrases that could mean several things. One, it can mean the actual dragon. It could mean the devil, because the devil is referred to as the red dragon in the Revelation. And then you have, like, the animal dragon, which is the one that we hope to have. And they also say dinosaurs were always confused as dragon because the bones, the initial dragon bone ideology comes from the fact that they found these giant lizard bones and they wasn't sure what to do with it, so then they called them into dragons. Later, the dragon bones are now called dinosaur bones. And so this is the one with that. You're probably wondering, how am I going to make the wings? Oh, just stay tuned. First, I'm going to do the feet. Okay, so I'll do the feet first. So hang in there, thank you so much. So 32 minutes in. I've been 32 minutes in, and the time is now 6 o'clock. Oh, it's time for the Jesse Kelly Show. Here in New York, you gotta watch the Jesse Kelly Show. He's pretty cool. And this stuff here, being able to make this thing here is a really cool benefit to its life. You have the ability to make dragon legs, dragon feet, dragon wings. You can keep people really, really, engaged, because it's one of those things where when you're working on something, it's like your body is, it's really at rest, and you're able to make stuff. So, anyway, so long story short, what happens is I'm going to make the feet, and then after I make the feet, I'm going to make the wings, and then I'm going to be done with this dragon. So, let's see how this goes. See, it just kind of, but yeah, I can actually talk while I'm doing it, so that's one of the cool things about this whole thing. You can talk while making cool stuff. So let's go ahead and make the cross feet. Let's see, it's right about here. Right here. I'll show you how to do this. Anyway, let's start up here on the top, higher. Right, like that. And crisscross it. This is all very, like, you might think this is a simple thing to do, and it might look it because the way I do it, but it's actually a little complex because you have to kind of think about balance and where you want to keep things as much as you want to, as much as possible. Because if you don't, then what happens is that, you might lose out on your ability to put the stuff in the right spot. So if you put it in the right spot, then you have, you have an opportunity to make some cool things. So let's see right here. There's this. So you got the one foot, and you got the next foot, right? So you have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just elongate the toes, right? And here's how it goes. She's all about reinforcement, by the way. Okay, so actually, I was actually deep in thought right there. Let's just keep talking about what I was talking about before. Okay, what I was saying before was just about like my family, and I thank God for my family, my sister, and my wife, and my children, and I thank God for how God opened doors for me to learn all this stuff, how I applied it and used it in my job when I used to work at in my inventory job at the hardware store I worked at. And that was really cool. I worked in the garden department, and I really enjoyed working there until they got ridiculous with me. And so when they got ridiculous with me because of the whole thing with the 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 destruction of the world, the Great Reset, you know, what happened was that made me lose my faith in them, and so I was really sad about that because I really liked them, and I was willing to go like as far as possible with them. I had really nice people there, really nice people, and I got used to the hours and stuff, and then this thing happened, and they forced people out of fear to get things, and they didn't know was good, but they just did out of fear, and I mean it's everybody, right? Everybody did stuff out of fear, so it's kind of a scary thing. But for the most part, though, I'm just learning that life is one of those things where when you're working on stuff, you just gotta trust God, because it comes down to that. Just trust the Lord, because everybody has a plan and they want things they want to do, but at the end of the day, really, it's the Lord's counsel that will stand. It's the Lord's counsel that will stand. One time I made a dragon for one of my friends on Instagram, and it was a golden dragon, and it was really cool. They actually requested me to make it for their dad or for their husband. I think the husband. I can't remember at this point, but I gotta look back and see. It was like one of those things to be able to see that, and it was fun because I had to kind of build something I never built before. I charged so low on that price. Oh my goodness! I look back and I'm like, oh my word! My prices have increased so much since then. But they gotta steal. It's like the thing. If you want to get somebody, get an artist to make something for you before they become famous. Let me tell you, because when they get famous, you can't afford to buy from them anymore. Honestly. There's days when people are like, they're glad just to sell like a little something, but then you get to a point where you get more expensive. The person knows their value and their worth. Then what happens is like, you begin to realize, I should have bought it when it was like really cheap or cheaper than the price, because now the person is like, they understand their value. That's the thing too, So people like, you might look at somebody and say, okay, well, you know what, I'm this and I'm that, but the bottom line is like, if you realize what a person is up to, that you will take part in that, see it before others do, because some things at work, something is at work, and God is awesome. God's able to make people do great things. He does great, really wonderful things for people. So you just gotta when you see somebody doing something, just kind of do your best to try and believe in them, because you're not sure exactly how it's all gonna play out, So that's the thing. So believe in them as much as you can, because you're not sure where it's gonna go. That's what I want to say. I remember I worked in a law firm, and there was a person that I was working with, and they said to me that, what, they believe in my art, But then they dropped out of my life, and I haven't seen them since. Like, they just disappeared, So I'm like, okay, well, that's great. That's the thing about friends, too. One of the things about friends is, like, you have friends that you've always wanted to have, and you're just kind of really happy to have, and then, just, if a situation can make you, when your friends leave you, then you have to ask yourself, was that person really my friend? Was that person really my friend? And that's kind of the sad part about it, because you start learning that there's a lot of people who say they're your friends, but they're not really your friends. They're kind of in it for a time, but the sad part is that they're really not in it for you. So with a lot of things going on in this world, you have a lot of things going on in this world, and distractions, a lot of it. But for the most part, though, it's like you have this where, if you have a talent, again, just use your talent to make people, for the glory of God, and two, to make people happy. Give them something that they never had before, and inspire them, enlighten them, encourage them. It's like, show them what God is, who God is. Not that you're God, but God, you're created in image of God, and so let them see a version of God that they've never seen before. Not that you're a goddess or a god, or but that you are created in God's image, and therefore you possess the characteristics of the Almighty. So though we can't speak things into existence, we sure as heck can make stuff. We can make things and make those things come into existence by making it. But we need other materials to do it. We can't make something alone unless we, even if you have to draw, on the ground, you have other things that come along. So you have this one here is with 5 toes, 5 toes, and this one here. So 3 toes because I haven't finished up yet, but I didn't make them 5 toes too. Then we're gonna do the wings, okay? And then you'll have the wings to look into as well. So here's that. Okay, so this was this. It goes like that. Let's go diagonal. Like this. I'll just see. Then after that, it's just a matter of reinforcing. Everything has to be reinforced. I'm gonna go drive tonight. I was hoping to go sell tonight, do some selling and make some things. But I thought, okay, if I do a video real quick, that'll satiate, my need to be able to present or make something. And so who knows? I just need a few more dollars in order to get to the threshold amount on this. And I've been trying for so many years. I finally got my monetization up, and I was stuck at this number for a long time, and now I just need like a few more dollars just to be able to push it over the top. And I'm just everything I can. I just God, just help me. Just help me to do this. Because when you do stuff, it's like, you try your best. You don't want to waste your time. You want to make sure you do everything you do, because everything, you don't get time back, You don't get time back. And so you have to kind of invest it in a way that you are very, happy with what you're accomplishing, And so that's why you don't want to sleep too late. You don't want to, want to watch TV and stuff like that, Get caught up with all kind of things. But, you just doing what you can, Doing what you can and hoping that what you're doing is going to actually register in somebody's life. Because honestly, I have, my family to take care of, and then I have plans for what they want to do in the future. But as the Lord's plans, they will stand. Really, it is God's plans will stand. So when you make anything, you do anything, you want to make sure that this thing will not be like on deaf ears or vainglory. And that's something there. Just something there is really cool because when you're working on stuff, you're doing your best. You're just focusing, trying to make things better. And so I don't know. I'm just really excited about the fact that you can actually just make something and it comes to life from your thoughts. And so it's a matter of just keep working. Don't give up. Don't give up on stuff. Don't give up on your abilities to make anything. Because anyway, so because you'll triumph eventually. This is all the scripture says that in all work there's profit. So in all work there's profit. There's a blessing to all work. So if you do something, eventually you're going to triumph. You're going to be the best at what you're doing. You just have to keep at it and don't give up. So there you have it. I'm almost this is the dragon's legs are done. Well, almost done. I guess make the muscles. And then you have the dragon's wings. I'm going to do dragon wings next. Okay, so you get a chance to see that. See, so you have the legs. So the 4-legged dragon. Yep, 4-legged dragon right here so far. See how it is? How cool. Very lightweight, very durable. And let's see. We went to Legoland a couple years ago during the pandemic, and we saw. It was such a good time. We were just ride like the dragon ride, and it was so fun. It was so fun. That was the first roller coaster ride for my kids, and they totally loved it. We want to take them to Great Adventure at some point, and I don't know how anybody makes money online. Honestly, I don't know because it's like the stuff that we make. It's just like it's amazing, and I think maybe I got to just work on my marketing and my advertisement because it's like we can do so many things. I mean, I've seen people do less than this. I've seen people do like just terrible stuff, and they make like so much. But for the most part, though, it's one of those things where just God is good. God is good, and He's good to us. So here's what we have. This is what I have. I'm there. I want to take my kids to Great Adventure at some point, and I think we can do that. I really think we can do that. I think that I just need to get the numbers up and more people and more work and stuff. But for the most part, though, I'm glad. I'm glad for just the challenges that we have in front of us. Challenges are there to make you stronger and teach you a way to go. So that's what we're doing. So this is this, so there's that. The back legs. All right, let me see if I'm just gonna make the. I made a dragon back in the day. One of the first things I made when I was using pipe cleaners, and I have a dragon. His name is, I call him Spooky. He's also on my Instagram. You can see him. He's made of pipe cleaners. It's like I don't know, 1,000 or 500. I don't know, but a lot of pipe cleaners. And the pipe cleaners just completely just was so cool. And I tried to color coordinate the wings and the legs and the arms and the feet. I made them all separate, then I put them all together. I remember that. That was back in my, what was it, 1996 when I made them? I think maybe earlier than that, when I was doing vacation Bible school at my local church at the time. And so one of the things I thought about was like how, you just go back in that memory lane and you think of all these things and how life works. But like, see, the thing is, like, these are like visual memories, and visual like memories of things that you're doing. So it's like these things are amazing creatures in terms of like the fact that you could make something, and it's a visual journal. It's a visual journal of things that you can make and do. And maybe I should work in creature shops or something like that. Maybe I should become like some kind of like what do you call it? An art person that does like works in the studios, designs the creatures, the background creatures and stuff, and then make them all like come to life. That'd be fun. You know. The other part is like you have it where just some of the things. I listen to like Anomaly, and he's pretty cool. One of the things I listen to, he's like he gets like totally upset about some of the things that are out there, and then he'll just kind of go on for a while about like just frustrating. Like they'll say something about him or Tim Pool or something about Trump, and and it's like amazing. He'll go on for like forever, and I think that's amazing. Just like how he's able to do that. I just like that's so cool. But he has like the Dreamer podcast is so cool. Just a shout out to him. If you ever watch this video, be able to just a shout out. Just want to say, I really appreciate all the work that he does, because like he's a one man show, running his stuff, and I mean I learned a lot just by watching his shows and everything. So I think that's really cool. I see there's a lot of other things, like just like learning stuff. I'm just really glad just to be able to meet so many people and to know how to do these things. So okay, I'm gonna add the wings. Okay, so now I got the legs done, the big fat legs. Got the tail part here done. Twin tail dragon. I can make a twin tail dragon. That'd be kind of cool. But instead of doing that, we're gonna make the wings. Let's just add make his tail just a little bit longer. Yeah, because why not? And then Draco's tail had like a thing on the bottom of it, like one of those like a crossbeam type thing. You know. Yeah. So here's his tail here. I'm gonna add some more details. Let me add some more power to his neck. You're gonna wonder if his neck is too short now. You can make a longer dragon neck. If the dragon neck is too short, you can just actually extend it some. But don't make it too long. But I mean, now it's like it's getting proportionally, whereas his neck is gonna be like just gonna reach down here. But the more meat you add to it, the shorter it gets. Probably should decapitate it and make it longer while I have a chance. Might just do that. Let's see. Well, I was trying to learn how to sew this week, and that was actually fun. Show you some of that. That's going to be on Instagram too. Alright, so here goes this. Okay, now to add wings, right? To add wings, you have to kind of think about where you want the wings to be. So you realize that the wings are going to have personality. So you figure the wings have to be as big or as long as he is, so you have to make sure the wings measure. So you have like the measurement of the wings or so. So you have to kind of make sure it goes even further out, because the wing's gonna have to go and come back. And so like with I think dragon wings have the bones in them, so we're gonna have to do that. Add the bones. That makes it a little easier to work with. The extra fingers on top. When you have bat wings are something like dragon wings, And so you have that. We're gonna add that there as well. So let's see, make that a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little longer. So you figure the wings are gonna be twice the size of the body. So you have this here, twice the size of the body. And okay, let's add the crossbeam. So you figure that right here, we're gonna add another arm. So let's add the arm. And so that's the wings here, because right there. It's one set of wings. All right. And then here's the second. The second set. Sorry, this one here goes up, goes over to make sure it balances out. Otherwise, it won't be right. Okay, right about there. All right. So here. Alright, so here you have this one, 2. Yeah, some people do 3. I do 3 sometimes. But make sure it's kind of shorter, so it's not as long. So They have the one finger. The bats have more than that, so I'm gonna put the one little finger up here, just so that it has a divergence of sorts. You know, put the one little finger that goes up. That's one finger that goes up. Then you have the next one that goes up too, so that one goes towards the wing out that way, so they'll put that way as well. Then we're gonna start adding the skin. Add the skin for these wings. And that's the part you've been all waiting for, to see the wings of the skin of the wings. So let's go ahead and do that. So you have that. You have that. Alright, so you have that, you have that. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and just add the skin. So I'm going to do the wings, skin with the wings first. So we're going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. That. Wait. I got to go the longest one out first, this one. Right, and then you're going to cover it like this. And you're going to fold it like that. So you have this. Right, so you have like this. That's one. Because you want it to move some. You don't want it just to be a static wing where it doesn't move. Right, so you have that. Right, and then you have this one. Right, then you have the inside. That. Okay, next you have alright. So you do the other side. You go this one to this one. Right? And then you do that same thing on the other side. This one here. That. And then you have that one there. And that one is down. Okay, cool. You have that. So you have that. So you have the two wings like this. Here's 1, 2. Right, so now, next one, you're going to pull this wing. It's going to go from this part to here, from the shoulders to the arm. And it covers up again, so you have that twice that way here. 1 and 2, so you have that there. Now see, the thing is, like, I don't understand why the dragon got this kind of look, but it's the look of the dragon. This is the dragon, 4-winged dragon. See, and you have the little arm there too. So you can actually what people do too. They actually bend it. So I'm just going to bend it there. That way, like, you can see the arm through it. You can't really see it, but yeah, I guess like the arms through it. And you have the bendy arm. Right? You have that, and it goes up to here. So you have like that. So now you have this one here. This is the wing. Right? You're going to do the other wing. It's going to go on top. It's going to go on top of the shoulder. Right? And some people actually make, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, okay? Talk about some people. Alright, let's just do this. It's approximation of the whole thing. You're going to make it from there to there. And, let's see, how long have we been going? We've been going for about 53 minutes. Wow. So 53 minutes. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to pull this as taut as possible. So make it as straight and taut. There's that. There's that. There's that. Alright, there's that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and it's going to reinforce the top wing. There's that. There's that there. Alright, and then this one here. See, the thing is you want to make sure that the sticky part is not exposed so it doesn't stick to, the furniture or your hair or the cat. Oh, goodness. Or your leg. And to do that is another tricky part. This is like why classes are like, to do this, it's just getting past the first fear. Once you get past the first fear, you can do all kind of stuff with masking tape. Once you get past it, you're invincible. You can make anything. Yeah, right. No, you can make anything, and you're pretty much invincible. much you can do anything in masking tape, because like now you got a basic structure to work against. And that's the thing, you can't just work in 3D space. You know, like a 3D printer, you have to have supports. And so the way I do it, I make supports. So here I have this one, right? So there's that, but there's more. So you have this little arm here, and you have this little arm here. What we're going to do, we're going to have to just kind of, you know, finish it up. So here it goes. So this here to this one. You can make it like down from here to there, and I put it like that, which is a cool thing because you're not supposed to be able to catch the air, you know. But you also make it in such a way. You know, I'll just do that. Just like that. So here's like that, and then on the other side, you just kind of fold it. You fold the other side too. You don't want a tape to collapse upon it, so like it just did right there. You want a tape to stay open, and you want to reinforce it. See, tape is a magical fruit. It really is. Okay, so here it goes here, and right there. Yeah, that's one of my kids. All right, there's that, and here we go. So now you have this. This is one of the wings here. There's the wings there. So you have that, right? So now the thing is, you can move it up, you can close it up some, but it has a little bend to it. So that's good, right? You see that? Good. Now we're going to go and do the other side, just so everything's balanced. You know? So here it goes. There's so many ways you could do this. So you do like this, a little bend and stuff. Or you can definitely bend it like this. And to make sure it's nice and flat to catch the wind. Okay. Alright, next, just fold it upon itself. Make sure that it doesn't has a thing. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it just has to be able to be balanced. So you have that and then that. Okay, so there's that. Now, you're going to add the next part, which is the seal part, right? Because you're going to close up the wings. You go this way to keep it uniform, right? This way to keep it uniform, because you're going to have the next one's going to pull against it, okay? So this. Alright, there's that. And then this way, so it seals up the wing. So the wing is sealed this way. Alright. Rain of fire. That's a cool movie. Just think about it right now. So here's this one. See, so here's the wing. One wing is complete. You see that? Completed, almost completed wing, but it's like there. Just gotta go ahead and make the little bend that goes to the wing, the typical dragon wing. But see, this is how you do it. Okay, this is how you do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay, so this is how it's done. Alright, and then you have that there. Right, so you have the wings there. Wings, right? Wings. Next up, let's go ahead and seal these ones up. Alright, so now, I know it's going to be laboring a point here, but let's go ahead and make the arms in front. Good. So reinforce that. Because this is the bendy wings part. Alright. This is the little finger part. And then it's going to seal up this part here in the front too on this side. Because that way you have the wings, everything is there. So you have, this is the wings, this is the thing, right? Now we're going to connect the connecting wing part. Right, and then we're going to be almost finished with the dragon. So, yeah. go. Here. The floor stuff. Alright, so here it is. There. Okay, so let's go. Right, so you have this. Now from this to this, I'm gonna just reinforce the fingers real quick. I guess I could do that, reinforce the fingers later too, but hey, why not just do it right here? This is here, reinforce the fingers. Cause I didn't get a long enough piece of tape, so that's why I'm reinforcing the fingers. There. There's a game called Monster Hunter, and that game is the best. Okay. I haven't played it in such a long time. My son has almost beat it. Pretty much, I don't know how people beat such beautiful games like that. I used to beat games like crazy, and I said to myself, I don't want to beat games anymore. I just want to enjoy it. So that's what I do. But then I don't have time. So, alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to do connecting. So you see this open space right here? We're going to fill it with some membrane. So let's do that. So to fill a membrane, you have to figure out exactly the distance between A and B. And let's go by this. This is going to be about here. I'm going to have it off the camera for a second, just so you can see it. There's that one, right? And it goes to there. And this is the one. This is the one to the membrane. See, right here. I think the light frame froze for a second. Okay, here. Right, and that's here's the one there. Wow, I was really behind. I'm looking back at my video. I'm watching the video. It's here, right here, and it's like I could see like all my previous. So I'm just kind of watching it. And so this is there's that. Okay, I'm gonna do it again on the other side. All right, that way. So it's like then we have to fix the membrane with more skin. So that tip to this tip here. Alright, and then go from there to there. There. Okay, so now you have like this, right? Like this. Just to this. You probably wonder why I like to make these mystical creatures, right? Well, I think it has to do with my imagination. I think that's one. Two, I think it has to do with the fact that I like making creatures that are like fanciful and they look pretty impressive, you know? Like, but people ask me to make their dogs and cats for them too, so that's something that I do on regular. Dogs, cats, they're birds, they're frogs. And I like making animals, but also like making these mystical creatures because it's like there's something about them, and it's like the whole thing. Like when you see a dinosaur for the first time, it's like a dragon, you know. It's like you're seeing a dragon, big monster from the movies, you know. So okay, I'm gonna just finish up these wings. And remember, it's all about uniformity, so you want to make sure it kind of goes in line, because once you put the skin on it, right? You put the skin on it, you have the details. See the details? Then you just have to flip it over and do the other side, and then make that work too. See, the thing is about like these. Some of these, like, you know, they have a history to them. But you know, the thing too is like try not to be too committed to your art, because when you fall in love with your art, you don't sell them. And it's just the way how this works. You love your stuff so much you don't sell it, and eventually you have the house full of stuff, you know. And how it works is, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, eventually you have to sell your stuff. You can't keep everything with you, you know. You have to. But maybe one day you can put it in a museum, you know, or something like that, and that's always fun. That's the funner part too as well. You know, have the stuff in the museum. Okay, so I'm going to close up this hole right here on that wing, and go to the other side and do the other side. And so, you know, if you fill up the hole on one side, you got to fill up the hole on the other side too. So that's one there. Alright, so that and that there. Then you have to fill up the hole on the other side, just so you block it. Alright, so then there's that. Okay, so now this wing is done. And it has the membranes, you can see right through it, and you can just add more details to it, and more pokiness. Poking Mr. Poking up. So you have that there. Just a little bit of a thing there to kind of seal it off to make sure the wing is the longest wing is here. It's the leading edge, right? You have the leading edge. Yep. And then you have the other side, which still has a hole in it. So we gotta fix that jammy up. Right, then there. So how long are we going? We've been going for what time? Okay, 1 hour and 5 minutes. Okay, we've been going for that long. All right, so let's see. Almost there. So what time is it now? It's 6:30. Oh my goodness. All right, well, I have to get going. I'm gonna take a nice shower and get ready to go outside. Face the music. Face the world. Okay, so here's this one. Alright, so then this wing is almost finished, and now this wing is finished. Alright, so again, make the longest wing the leading edge one, the parameters. You know what's cool about these things? They're so lightweight that they actually like work like kites. You know, they're not as, I mean, the wind, you probably need stronger material, but if you just reinforced it a lot, you can actually make these into kites, you know? And that's always cool. Alright, so here's this. So you have this one there, this one there. So you have the wings for this guy here, alright, and you have that. And, right, so let's put his hands down, so this is the hands there. Yeah, baby. So you have the wings, and you have the body. You have the wings, you have the body. You know, the head looks really small, so I'm just going to give him some more head personality. Make his head a little bit bigger, make it like, just poof it up, why not? Because dragon heads are just poofy. So let's go ahead and poofy this dragon head. Yeah, I could probably do one of those Tapaharas type of things. I can make it into a Diplocaulus, a giant flying Diplocaulus. Hey, why not? Like a Diplocaulus dragon. Let's go ahead and do that. Yep, let's do that. We'll make a Diplocaulus dragon. So to make a Diplocaulus dragon, it would be like this. Just take it, and then you just kind of cross beam the head. And the head is like that. This, and then you have that. So like this. Alright, so you have this, and this is the head, and this is the body. Alright, so you have that. And then now I'm just going to go ahead and just going to fill the Diplocaulus aspect of it. So making a flying Diplocaulus dragon. So here it goes. It really looks like on that, you know. I mean, because I'm watching on the thing and it's like, oh, hey! Let me right back and say hello. Hello! Right, hello! Okay, there it goes. There's right there. Oh, y'all, next week is my anniversary. My wife and I are going to do something really nice for our anniversary. We're married 21 years next week. 21 years. I don't know about you, but in a dog years, that's forever. That's like 1,000 years in dog years, right? But for us to be married, we're going to be 21 years. Wow, that's so cool, right? So here goes. This is like the head part. I'm going to go ahead and just finish up the clampy part of it, so we have the Diplocaulus head, and then we're going to be done with this, okay? So I'm going to have to get going soon because my time is almost up. Just want to say, you know, thank you all for watching. Those of you who watched, you know, definitely, if you want to, you know, give us a chat, that's always fun, because you know why? Because when we do art, it says, "I thank you. Thank you. It's coming out really nicely. It's going to be a Diplocaulus dragon. You know, it's got the big old Diplo head. And then it's got the cool dragon. So, make that looking so cute. Alright, so you have that. And they're going to bolster up his neck some because, you know, if you're going to have a big old horns on your head like this, you better have a big old strong neck to support them big old horns on your head, you know what I'm saying? So, let's see, do this. You're almost there. Almost done with this one. change my thumbnail on this picture. So yeah, so pretty much so much detail, so many things to talk about. But for the most part, let's just go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cross beam it real quick. A little cross beam. And then we will be done. And then I'll have to go and make some donuts. It's actually coming out really good. Look at this. This is cool. You see, you know, I know what a sculpt is good when I really like it. I really enjoy having it as a sculpt. Sure, and I love it, and I don't want to sell it, and that's when I know when something's really good. Whenever I make, that's my criterion. When I know it's good enough and looks beautiful, is when I don't want to get rid of it. That's the thing. That's the point. That's when you know you've crossed that threshold of just being something easy to get rid of to something where you just completely love it. So let's see. There's. Let's go ahead and let's finish this up here. And make this cool muscular sculpty head. We got 1 hour, 11 minutes. Make a little bottom jaw, distinct dragon jaw. Yes. Look at you, look at you. See you. Gotta add some more meat and potatoes, but look at you. Yes. Alright, so let's see. Okay, almost there. I'm just go ahead and seal this up and be done. Alright, so you have this here. Gonna put some like some meat here under his eyes. Or where his eyes should be. Right there. Right there. Right where his eyes should be. And there too. His eyes should be. Then we're gonna almost run out of tape. Almost out of tape. Okay, so let's see. Just sleek him up right there. Make him all sleek. Right there. And right there. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's say a quick thank you for the super chat. Oh wow, I got another person watching with me. Oh good. Hello Google Air Studios. Hello Amy Valentine. Alright, cool beans. So let's see, we have hello everybody. So here's the wings on this one. Here's the wings on this one. Here's the head, the horns on the head. Here's the cool dragony looking things. It's like a Diplocalus. Alright. Let's see what we have here. Thank you so much, Amy Valentine, for the $5 super chat. You know, I really appreciate that. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and see what happens when I finish this up here. And thank you for all the support you give. Google Air Studios says hello. Oh, good. Alright, so I have this dragon. I'm almost finished with it. See, getting all the cool dragon-esque features to it. Alright, got the cool dragon wings, dragon body. Have to just fill it up some more. But this is pretty much the dragon right here. This is like the dragon with the dragon wings and a Diplocalus type head. Right? So there you have that. See, it's just I'm gonna go for a few more minutes. We're gonna give it some more bulk on the side, and then that's gonna be it. Okay. So we're gonna just kind of give it some more muscles in his arm. And to give stuff muscles, you just have to add muscles. Right. So let's give it a big old hulking biceps. We like the Hulk. Right, so let's say make the biceps right there. Wow, get $5 super chat. Yay! So here's that. And there's that. I got this here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, you know, the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for, you know, just interacting with me on this level. And let's see. So there's going to the muscles right there. Add some more muscles. We're going to run out of tape soon. Okay, so here it goes. There. Make the bulking biceps right there. Some more, right? Like this. And like this and this. And there. Wow. Okay, so here's that. Alright, so then here's this one. And you have the thing there too. So if you want to make anything you want to make a bulking biceps of sorts, you just gotta add more tape. Everything is add more tape, okay? So just remember that. If you want to do anything, just add more tape. So this is a really cool class. Just want to say thank you so much for watching me today, you know, and watching all my art. It's been really cool just being able to, you know, make some artwork and for people to come and look at the stuff we're doing. Really, really, really appreciate that, you know. We appreciate the super chat and appreciate, you know, just how it all works out, you know. So let's see, this is there. Got the muscles in the arm right there. Because, you know, these dragons have to be strong. You're going to be able to carry a horse or something. You have to be able to, you know, have a lot of, like, power in your arms and stuff, too. So there's that. And then, so cool. So there's that. And right there. Okay, add some more muscle mask. Oh, cool. Thanks for liking it. Okay, cool. There's that. All right, cool. There's that, too, as well. And we're coming down to the end of my masking tape roll, and when we do that, that's the party's over at that point for folks. So here, just kind of giving more muscle mass around the belly. Alright, right there on the belly. Because you can't sculpt more if you have no more tape. Alright, so we wrap his arms up, make sure his arms are good. Give him a little fat belly. Alright, so see, this is the procedure. This is how it all works out, you know. You never know where you're going to end up, but you just know that when you start, this is how it works, right? So, this is how much we got. We got 1 hour, 18 minutes. Okay. Alright, thank you so much again. Alright, so here's that. Almost out of tape. Almost out of tape. Down to the last peripheral. Look at it. See this? Almost down to the last bit of tape. And then we shall be complete. We shall be complete. Alright, so here's that. Here's that. There's that for his belly. Alright, there. There you have that. There you have that. I am the last one. Alright, so here's that. There's so much more details to do this thing, believe you me. But one must know when to stop. One must not continue on forever. You must always know how to stop. Because if you don't know how to stop, you will never stop. Okay, so here's that. Here's that. Alright. Down to almost the last of it. Oh, you know what? I had that. What's your name? I'm gonna finish painting it. And then here we go. Alright, and then here we have that. Here we have this. Here we have this. Wow, muscular dragon. Alright, let's add a twin thing to his tail. Let's add a little thing to his tail, and then we shall be done. Okay, watch. Tail, go up. Tail, and go up. And then tail, and go up. And, alright, and there's the tail part there. And then okay, so pretty much I just have I have my sweet wife distracting me over there. Hello, honey. So okay, so here we go, and all right, so here's the tail part. Tail part 1. Here's the body part 2. Here's the cool everything. All right, and so we're gonna go ahead and come to an end and a conclusion to this wonderful endeavor. What a wonderful night! Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for just kind of hanging there with me and being able to just to see all the cool stuff. And we worked on a dragon together, and this is great. It's actual a dragon and not a wyvern, not a dragon with just the wings, but wings that actually move. I'm going to give it a seal, and it shall be done, but I'm already pretty much done at this point because I'm not going to do the seal thing on live. I'm going to do the seal thing later. Okay, so there's that. There's the wings. Ready is could be one of your monsters from, Dragon, Monster Hunter, right? So there you go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you so much for watching with me tonight. I still have a little bit of tape left, but I'm going to stop it here because I got some other things I have to go do. But I just want to thank you all for watching with me tonight. It has been a blessing, and it's been an honor to be able to do this. And also, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for everything, and just hanging in there with me as I worked on this sculpture. Right? So we actually have a sculpture that's really cool. Not to mention all the gremlins that I worked on before. So you have all the gremlins and everything too that I worked on. Gremlins and my Murder Hunter Gremlin, just say there, and also for not Greta, but Gina, and also you just know I have a class that shows you how to make this lady here, and so it shows you how to make this lady, and pretty much I just showed you pretty much how to make this dragon, but I have a course how to make this lady here, and just pretty much if you have any questions about that, you can find out more on my Etsy, or also on Linktree, or on Linktree before some of the details in that. So, all right, just want to say thank you so much. Have a good night. God bless you. And again, keep sweet. Don't listen to the government. Pretty much, the government's crazy. But for the most part, though, just pray and ask God for wisdom for what you should do. All right. So, peace and God bless. Have a good night. All right. Bye. Thanks for super chat. All right. Bye.